holds is back in this motherfucker. MCA's back once again, you know what I'm saying? Just like last year, we told the
quarter. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback, Nick Foles.
Love his build, love his arm. Had a Pro Bowl season with the Philadelphia Eagles, looking to scale those heights once again.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. He takes us from the 30 to the 34. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Foles. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So a first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Fournette. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Foles. And finding Keelan Cole. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hey, here we go. I got you.
Fournette, a first down carry. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Texans under their 6th-year head coach, Bill O'Brien. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ten yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive in their first series.
If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Stop short of the goal line. A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now third and goal.
Check tight. Check tight. 47's the mic.
Now Watson on third and goal. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. You think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
Fairbairn on for the field goal. An 18-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. On the run, it's Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards. Here's Foles. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talking about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Watson. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Watson. Foto brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
To the air yet again, Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Watson looks to throw again. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Now it's Watson. That's complete right around the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Watson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson, looking for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. A third field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Throwing on second down, Watson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson going up top. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans push further out in front. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there, let him go get it.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll drop to throw. He's got a man, complete. Give him 30 yards there. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll set up to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Foles. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They were losers to Kansas City a week ago, but they are out in front right now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of 2 there. Second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Back now in Houston, it's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. 11 yards there, first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Watson on target here to Fuller, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. On first down, Watson. Pitch and catch complete to Hireman. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. To throw is Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Watson now to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand.
I remember being taught that cliches had become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? Well, this one wasn't sleeping. He was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now. They stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Foles. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 44 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Foles. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant you to flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. This to get it back to a... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. And he will score. It's a touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans push further out in front. And that trip to the end zone, I think that's the dagger.
Handshakes all around now. Everybody looking at each other and starting to celebrate a big victory.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. They're all through up in Detroit, and it was the Chargers who were able to take home the victory in that one. Phillip Rivers, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. This will be fielded at the 8, and he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. They've had a great game. They have given this offense fits all game long.
They'll have plenty to review, plenty to enjoy. How about the highlights that's going to happen out of this one? Big plays all around. A really well-played game on the defensive side of the ball.
Makes that film session fun for them, doesn't it?
Makes the film session fun and a lot easier for the producer and the director to pull out clips for the season-ending highlight video.
Absolutely. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Foles, flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. There's Foles. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start.
Yeah, the nigga holds us back in this motherfucker. MCA's back once again, you know what I'm saying? Just like last year, we told